Your views. You can SMS at any time during the show. Type Spectrum, leave a space, type in your contribution and name, then send it to 7197. Your views, our interviews on Spectrum, Radio 1 FM 90.
A very warm welcome. This is Spectrum on Radio 1. My name is Edmund. Tonight on Spectrum, the new NRM strategy to improve service delivery in the country. Is it a genuine plan or a political weapon? The NRM caucus, sitting at Entebbe State House, yesterday resolved to devise a new strategy that will be used to roll out national development programs using NRM MPs as change agents and monitors. The caucus resolved that the country be divided into regional blocks and then other smaller units to be known as zones, which will be tasked with executing certain tasks to ensure that the challenges of poverty are overcome in line with the NRM manifesto, which agitates for economic transformation and better household incomes. This development has reawakened the debate on challenges that have perpetually hindered development and service delivery in Uganda. Despite all recent policies to deal with poverty and foster development, over 9 million Ugandans still live below the poverty line, but this figure is said to have gone up due to the most recent economic hazards. While the NRM believes the regional and zoning strategy may deliver, skeptics believe that it might create another conduit to perpetuate syndicated corruption, which is said to be eating away at the public sector. The opposition has dubbed this strategy as discriminatory and partisan and wondered if the NRM has its own independent resources to roll out a strategy that has not been incorporated into the national development agenda or that has not been agreed upon by Parliament. The opposition argues that this could be the next conduit through which taxpayers' money will be diverted to political activities to give mileage to the NRM party under the guise of monitoring government programs. So tonight we will analyze this strategy to see if it will deliver better than the already existing government policies and strategies. Our guests tonight, Honorable David Bahati, Vice Chairman of the NRM caucus, also Member of Parliament for Ndorwa West. You're most welcome, Honorable Bahati.
Thank you.
You also are joined by Honorable Sabiiti, Chairman of the Local Government Accounts Committee, also a Member of Parliament for Rukiga County and from the FDC. But you're most welcome, Honorable Sabiiti.
Thank you and good evening, listeners.
Honorable Bahati, we sat at State House and we agreed on certain things that we think will pull this country out of its current economic doldrums. Can you give us an outline of what you came up with?
First, thank you very much and good evening, listeners. We had a field retreat as members of the NRM starting this Sunday in Shirhula and Masaka. And we are focusing on socio-economic transformation strategy of our government. We visited dairy farms in Shirhula and saw how focused and sensitization of the masses has transformed that part of the country. We went on to Masaka and visited one of the best farms, I think, in that region, run by Mrs. Chiza. On a 3.7 acre, she's able to earn 50 million. She's a model farmer. 3.7 acres of land, she's able to earn 50 million per month. She has 17 enterprises, poultry, she has cattle there, she has a number, she has fruits, and she's engaged in training farmers. She's doing a wonderful job. She started with only 2 pigs, and she's able to earn now 50 million with limited government intervention, even without the support of NADS. She's a widow, and this is an example that we thought we would look at and it's something that can encourage others. But of course, it does not mean that these are the only farmers. We know millions and millions of farmers across the country. Some of them are struggling, but many are really trying to come out of poverty. So we had a meeting then at the State House yesterday to recap our retreat, and we went on to zone this country into 18 zones to try to look at the enterprises that can best suit those regions. Because what is practiced in Chihula is not necessarily right for people from Kabale. While this one is a semi-arid land, Kabale is a highland. It is cold. We don't have much land, so they are different. That's why we are trying to zone them. But of course, we use the national strategy. So we identify enterprises. Why did we do this? Because the people of Uganda in this year's election gave us a mandate to run the affairs of the state for the next 5 years. So the first responsibility to run the country is with the government of the NRM. That does not mean that others cannot play a role. They can, the opposition can. And eventually, when we initiate these ideas, they will find their way in the budget framework, they will find their way in the debate in the House, and finally will be implemented and will be supported and debated by everybody. So the question of saying, why didn't you invite members of the opposition, will eventually be answered. But you have got to start from somewhere. And the first call is on the members of the NRM who were given the mandate to work, rather to run these affairs of this state for the next 5 years. So we came up with some ideas, some enterprises, different enterprises. People looked at different in some of these regions and saw the problems that are hindering development. And basically the retreat was focused on socio-economic transformation of Ugandans. It had nothing to do with the general politics or the bail, as many people had speculated.
Oh, so you did not sneak in?
No.
Let's talk about what you just mentioned. You have this blueprint. So basically, the people who voted wisely are going to be rewarded. The people who voted with their eyes open are going to get
There is no single district that does not belong to the zone that we had. And not every district voted.
Well, the planners are NRM.
No, what I'm saying,
when they are shading,
we are going to initiate. We are initiating the way we think we should, the strategy, and this strategy will be debated by everybody before it is approved by Parliament, including members of the opposition.
Honorable Sabiiti, you are invited. You never showed up.
No, I was not invited. Certainly, you know the methods of our movement, and therefore, you know how they always do their things. Now, the country is facing a difficult economic situation. The environment in which we are in is clear. Everybody, whether movement, non-movement, independent-minded people, everybody can see what is going on. And this is as a result of over 25 years of history. If you have no place in 25 years to devise a system, if you have no method for people to help you to devise good policies, to devise systems to use, to get even the right personnel. You know, nearly every parliament has had the majority members of parliament who are NRM, right? Yes. But look, where is the economy of this country? Where is it? Every year they come, they talk about prosperity for all. They come, let's fight poverty, right? Let's fight poverty. They come and say, every farmer will have 20 million in the next 5 years, right? Yeah, you know, these are the things they have been singing throughout. But now, the non-movementists, the rich and the poor, because even the rich now are beginning to see how their money is being, how their expenditure has expanded, right? So everybody now has woken up. Has the movement been telling us the truth? And the reason is simple. We have one man in the State House.
Yes, you wanted more than one?
Who plans for the country? He directs what we do. Now look, we have a Department of Agriculture, right? A Department of Agriculture. It has specialists in nearly every field of agriculture. Some have PhDs, some are practical, agriculturists. They are there, they are not being used. They are calling the likes of my friends in parliament, some of them who have never done anything, to tell them what to go and deal with the farmers. Why can't they? For example, I would expect the president of this country to summon the Department of Agriculture, the Minister of Agriculture, the experts. Come to Wastura. I am concerned about agriculture. What has gone wrong? Right? What has gone wrong? But you call people who have no capacity whatsoever in that field, other than legislating, making laws, right? And you want them now, you want to give them money, public funds, to go and supervise and most likely implement. Right? Because these are members of parliament, they know their areas, they know who has done what.
They know where to go in the money.
They know. To do what? Right? The last year, but one, I saw the same group of people coming to Rukiga. Right? They were giving about 4 farmers 30-40 million a pickup, instead of recruiting the right agriculturists, trained agriculturists, to be maybe on every parish or to be on every sub-county. And these are the people who could even be summoned to be taken in other areas. So please, look at what these people have done. But now, members of parliament, they are going to be explaining, things which are beyond their capacity. So in my opinion, this is another way of hoodwinking the population of this country. It is another way of getting money, out of the treasury, give them to these people, they go and buy the voters. You first look at the budget which State House has come out with. Just look at it. RDCs, right? Explaining the agriculture in the areas, policies and whatever. Their facilitation, right? The same thing. So in my opinion, this is another way of beating members of parliament. I know his main interest now is making sure that they go behind him. He's going to promise them money. He's going to facilitate them to go in the field. They're going to be happy. And when he brings up laws in that parliament, laws that will threaten his authority. If, for example, the population starts threatening his authority, these are the people who are going to buttress him, not help him, and he's going, of course, to pass these laws about arresting members of parliament, some of them opposition, even those who are okay, they will find a way. So really, it was to bribe them, to beat them, right, orientate them to what he wants.
Honorable Bahati, I'd like us to keep a very, very sober argument to this. The government has had several plans. Right now, until we have the national development plan, is it not enough? We have to go through this.
Yes, we have to go every other time. We have to continue thinking. The moment you cease to think, you're in trouble. Contrary to what Honorable Jack Sabiiti is saying, actually it does not mean that experts in agriculture are the only people who can speak about agriculture. We have wonderful minds in parliament who know agriculture. We have ministers of agriculture, the Minister of Agriculture, who is a member of our party, the State Minister of Agriculture, very distinguished people. So we work together we work together as a team, and at the end of the day, we need to continue thinking. We need to continue improving every single day. Incremental development. That's how it works. So no one is going to certainly. Honorable Jack Sabiiti knows the president is not involved in beating members of parliament, but the thing was about socio-economic transformation of our country and bringing every member on board. What can you do in your area to improve the households of your people?
But who could do that party if you ask that question? You have a minister, I know him, a highly educated man in agriculture.
He was the director for agriculture.
Yes, the Minister of State. I know him very well from your side. is a highly educated man in agriculture. Now, who should be training these members of parliament? Who should be advising them on what to do? Is it the president? To do what?
Bringing
I want you to...
You're bringing people together to debate their destiny, to debate the way they should be moving. I don't think it is harmful, Honorable Jackson.
That's the work of Parliament. That's what we do in Parliament.
It's not harmful. But the point is, we are not taken there to be bribed. We went there to learn and share experiences and find out what we can do to transform our country. You asked a very important question. We have all these plans in place. We have the National Development Plan. We have the budgets. We have the manifesto. We have got to continue improving on them. Of course, they are the basis for our debate. They are the basis for the meeting. That's where we speak from. The zoning we're talking about is actually done by the experts in the Ministry of Agriculture.
Last year by one, there was already that policy, right, to zone this country. It's a policy that was talked about 2 years ago.
No, actually,
right? Up to now members of parliament are beginning to see how to zone the country.
No, that's not true. Yes. What we did, and I need to correct this, the zoning that we are talking about is a zoning of which was done by agriculture, depending on what can do best in whatever area. Yes. For example, coffee can do better in Mbale than it can in Mbarara or Masaka. So we are working. Yes, we are working.
Yeah,
we are working as a group, and I think members of parliament interacting and being informed by what the technical people are doing is not harmful. Actually, it adds value to the process of development.
But I think let's look at the commitment as well.
Sorry. That would be the work of the ministers to present such policies to parliament. Yes. Yeah. I mean, how? why do you take
a contradiction?
Yes. Why do you single out certain members of parliament? Take them somewhere. You try to train them, right? You as the head of state, what to do. Yet, the president is the president of every person in this country, right? The funds available are given to him to improve on the welfare of every citizen. Now you call one section of society, you take non-technical people, tell them what to do to plan for the country, yet they have policies which they laid down some time back.
I think you made that point very, very strongly, Honorable Secretary. Let's try to move on to that. Take it to another level. Honorable Bahati, agriculture has got 4%. There seems to be a disconnect between commitment and reality. It's what it gets from the budget has fallen. It's just last year. I think last year was our 4.7%. Now it's 4%.
Yeah, but what is agriculture? I think we need to look at the economy or the sector in totality. For you to transport the goods that you are producing, you need a road. So the 4% we are talking about does not factor into other facilities that are put in place to develop agriculture. For example, you need water for production. You need roads, you need other services like NADs. They might not be even captured in the 4% we are talking about. So at the end of the day, we have a limited resource envelope, and that's the role of Parliament. That's the role of Parliament. That's what we should be betting on. But I think in totality, the 4%
works out better. You have a bigger percentage. No, but let's talk about the zoning a little bit.
Yes.
Let's talk about the zoning a little bit. We have RDCs and how is it going to be carried out? Who's going to supervise it? The MPs or the RDCs?
Every person will continue doing their job. A director in agriculture is not going to be replaced by a member of parliament. RDCs are not. We have our own mandate. Our mandate is clear: to supervise, to monitor government programs, to provide leadership for areas where we think leadership is needed, to initiate ideas into the population. So the RDCs will continue. It's going to continue working as a team. And actually, it's not only for members of the parliament or for NRM. It's going to be for everybody to make sure that every constituency is developed. That's the ultimate end we are looking at.
No, the issue I want to bring in is, you see, you talked about 4%. and has rust beneath it, that no agriculture has. But compare agriculture with other state organs, right? Equally, those state organs access those facilities, but they are heavily funded. The public administration, look at the office of the president, look at State House, look at ISO, look at defense, and compare it with the bigger population, the disadvantaged population, the 80% of this country actually, like they said, which really depend on this, and you allocate them 4% of the total budget. Now, and then you call a member of parliament for political reasons. Come, I want to teach you how to do this, how to mobilize, your people, how to, to grow vegetables and pigs and whatever. Surely, does that make sense?
It does.
Does that make sense?
It does. It does to involve leaders in determining their destiny.
To do what?
It does to involve leaders to think about ways on how we can improve our situation. That's what we are talking about. It's not
Bahati, you have been in parliament.
Jack, it's not politics.
Look, you have been in parliament.
And let's not
Honorable Bahati, you have been in parliament 2 terms. This is your 3rd term?
No, it's my 2nd.
Your 2nd term. In the Kabale district, where you come from. And that's where you come from too.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Tell me how relevant this arrangement is going to be. How this program of yours, seeing the president going and see pigs and whatever, going to help that local man, right, in your constituency. Who would be better equipped to do that? Is it you? Because yours is political mobilization, social mobilization, right? But when you come to educating a local person, how, for example, to make, not to allow soil to be taken away by rains and whatever, the methods to be used, they are technical. How to use fertilizers, right? How you can get, for example, cheaper feeds, right? There are technical people to do it. And these are the people who are in the public service, who are badly remunerated, right? Who cannot go in the field, and you are getting a member of parliament to even add more resources to him to go in the field, to go and start messing up even the little agriculture.
But Honorable Sabiiti, you are forgetting one point. We have a law as members of parliament. We have
oversight law.
We have oversight law, but also we have
accountability law.
We have appropriation, budget appropriation law. And you cannot appropriate money if you don't make priorities right. You see, that's all. You must link all these
why
things.
didn't we use parliamentary funds? Why did you go to State House to use parliamentary funds?
Our answer.
We have funds from parliament to facilitate members of parliament to go in the field and do that work. Now you have gone to another sector, right? Either agriculture or president's office or State House.
Our answer that.
Yes. And you use that fund on you, which money should have done something else. And before the end of the year, State House is going to come that they want supplemental. You get it?
Can I answer that?
Money in parliament to do that work.
Before we go for the break, the Honorable Bahati.
Well, the money, we met as members of the party. You have met as members of your own party or opposition to respond to the State of the Nation address by the President to provide alternatives. Okay, you did not call us when you are meeting to respond to what we are proposing. As members of the party, we have a right to meet. The President has the right to invite anybody, including even members of the opposition. What we are doing is the right thing. And I don't know why you are not seeing it, Honorable Jack Sabiiti.
All members of parliament. Why not? But here is the President of the country concerned with poor agriculture, right? And he is now singling out a few people. Come with me and I'll show you how to develop this country. Others are left out. And you may find the people he left out have more capacity than the people he has taken, right? So really, what I'm saying, it's unfair to the population, unfair to the institutions in this country, and gradually they will have to answer, as they are now beginning to answer. look at the economic environment we are in, they are beginning to ask.
This is Spectrum on Radio 1. Tonight, the new NRM strategy to improve service delivery in the country. Is it a genuine plan or is it a political weapon? We'll be right back.
Thank you for coming to the executive suite, madam. My name is Richard, the executive banker, and I'm here to handle all your banking needs.
Oh, really? Thank you. I noticed you don't have any queues here.
No, Mrs. Asio, we do not.
Oh, wow. You even know my name?
But of course, madam. Today we are offering you a current account with a Gold Visa debit card, home loans with attractive rates, Gold Visa credit cards, and unsecured personal loan.
All that for me?
Yes. In addition, we can offer you internet banking so that you can access our services from anywhere, even your home.
Oh, this is too much. What else will you give me now? Chai?
Experience executive banking at Stanbic Bank.
Excuse me, madam. Your cup of chai?
Ask about executive banking at your nearest branch.